Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, fellow travelers. Oblix here, back with you today from the Future's Edge. How y'all doing today? So guys, last time we, in one of these buildings, made a giant capacitor. Well, it's not really that big, but it holds a ton of RF, 50 million RF. And we are filling it up with now 380. I have made a few improvements since we got off of our last video, in that I have added a few more zombie generators. So I was seeing that this guy was keeping up no problem with 2 generators, so I went ahead and added 2 more. And he's still keeping up no problem. So I think we could probably have like 6 or 8. I did also go ahead and add this power conduit down here all the way along the bottom, so we make sure we get power from these guys into our system. It's just coming up here and then looping into our roundabout up here, and I did extend our roundabout over from here as well. So today, guys, I'm gonna fair warn you, is gonna be a crazy and long episode. It's gonna be math heavy, and a lot of you may find it very boring. So fair warning ahead of time, but it's an important episode because today we're going to start on Psi, the mod Psi. But to do Psi, what's up, Marvin? You have to... Oh, man, I almost got onto his little cheeky thing here. Dang it. Let me on your cheek, Marvin. What's that look like? Okay, yeah, I'm feeling kind of small and insignificant right now. But, oh, fine. So, guys, we need to get started inside today. You can see I was making some more zombie generators. So we're going to do an @Psi. And there's not a whole lot to it. It's not one of those mods that has pages and pages and pages of stuff, but it is one of the most powerful mods, words coming out of my mouth in diuretic order. So it is one of the most powerful mods, you know what I'm trying to say, in the game. Because what you can do with it is kind of only limited by your imagination. It is amazingly powerful. So, to get started in this, we are going to need to make some things, but very few. And then we're going to have to go to school, because if you press the C key, you will get up your Psi little notebook here. And you have to go through all of these tutorials, every single one, before you unlock the full potential of the mod. So it's not like, Ender.io, where you can just start crafting things right from the get-go and go straight into top tier stuff as long as you have the resources. No, Psi makes you start at the bottom and work your way up by doing things. So, let's get busy. We're going to need, eventually, a spell programmer and a CAD assembler. So I want to go ahead and make these 2 guys. Now, we can't make this one yet because we can't produce Psi dust yet, but we'll get there. We are going to need, however, a CAD assembler. So let's go ahead and get this guy created. And probably the hardest thing to make is this, which means we need some steel. So, do I have steel? I should. Yes, I do. So there's our 4, and they have highly altered these recipes. You can see it's got Open Computer stuff, it's got Ender.io stuff. So they have completely borked the recipes in this particular pack. So these are usually not this hard to create in most packs. It's just Landstrider, the pack creator of this particular pack's like, yeah, no, I want it to be a lot harder. So a piston. Seriously, he wants it? Okay, I was gonna say It has to be a sticky piston? Are you kidding me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go ahead and get the 6 of those. Again, I like to do the little patterns just so it's obvious to me. I think I will move all these over one block. So we have room here to do another one if we need another one. So what else do we need? One of these guys. I need a basic capacitor. And that's 2 redstone and a piece of copper and 4 gold. Is that it? Do I remember it? Let's see. Boom and a bam and a boom and a bam and a boom. Haha. Then steel, I think we already have. We need these guys. We need treated sticks, iron, and stone. And treated sticks. I only have 2. So we need, what, that many, I think? Okay. And crap, what else was it? Iron. So let's boop, boop, boop. Oh man, I thought I hit shift when I did that. Yeah, there we go. So now, can we make these? Yes. Okay, so now we got to make this open computers thingamabobber. So this actually goes here. Electronics assembler. Okay, so we need 2 more pistons. And there we go. I just seriously laid redstone across my thingy. Didn't even know you could put redstone across a crafting table. Okay, and need a crafting table. Easy peasy. Okay, there's crafting table. There's our 2 pistons. Need 4 iron. So 1, 2, 3, 4 iron. And a microchip tier 2. Now we have some microchips somewhere. That's a tier 1. Aha, a tier 2. Nice. And we need a printed circuit board, PCB. Okay, do I have a PCB? You're not a PCB, you're an EEPROM. I was kind of hoping I had one of those, but nope, does not seem to be the case. Alright, so what do I need to make one of those? A cup of grog. Why in the world do you need a cup of grog? That's the silliest thing ever to need to make one of these things. Grog, gold nugget, and circuit board, which is cooking. Raw circuit board, which is cutting wire, which is sticks and iron nuggets. Oh man, rabbit hole. 2 sticks and iron nugget. Nuggies. Okay. So let's dig down into the rabbit hole of doom and destruction. Okay, there's that. And we need a block of clay and some green dye. Ooh, weirdest recipe ever. Where's all my clay? I know I have a ton of clay. Where's my clay? Oh, is it under here? Found it! I forgot I had a chest down there. Little hidden secret chest. Got another one over here too that I've been putting bee stuff in. Okay, and what was it? 1 block of clay, I think. And some green dye. Was that a thing? You know, that should be easy enough. Cook. Using our little immersive engineering external heater. Yeah, I could have used those guys, but this guy didn't get enough love. He needs more love in his life. Alright, so that should be this. And we should be able to cook these. At least it makes 8 of them. It does take a hot minute, doesn't it? Alright, so there's that. Now we just need to put that with grog and a golden nugget. Okay, so we need another nugget. Alright. You and you and you and you and you and you. Bam. Yeah. You. Bam. Why do I have extra stuff? Oh, they moved over. It used the stuff from up here instead of the stuff from over here. Whatever. It's fine. Bam. Alright. So, this is our psi cat assembler. We need a place to do that. I think we're going to use this. Ooh, this is a big house. Maybe we'll use this smaller house. Psi really isn't that big. It doesn't need a whole lot of space. It's really 2 machines. And then some storage. So there's our cat assembler. Fantastic. So now we're going to hit C. And we're going to do the level 1 tutorial. So you could have held off on the cat assembler. You actually need to start with the level 1 tutorial and it'll eventually tell you to build a cat assembler. I just want to get it out of the way. So what you're going to learn is the trick debug. Now tricks are things you can do. You know, things that you can do in the world or, well, you'll see. And we're going to learn the selector of caster. The selectors are what does it. So this is the thing you do. This is what does the thing you do. And you're going to find that Psi is a whole lot like a programming language. So it's going to allow you to build programs that interact with the world. And you can do all manner of crazy things based off those programs. So it's really cool what you can do. It's a little bit of work to get into it. So we need to start with doing learn, hitting this checkbox, and you're going to see there's a bunch of blah, 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 blah that it wants you to do. So we're going to need to do this. So we need to read through this and then do what it tells us to do. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but I am going to go off cam. I am going to read through it. It's been a while since I've done Psi. Probably it's been more than a year. So I'm just going to refresh myself as we go through these tutorials. And so let me get this reread, make sure no changes have happened since last time I did it. And then we'll move forward. Okay, I went into a testing world and did some testing because I was getting weird results here in this world, and I think they have, for this pack, done some changes to Psi that I didn't even know were possible, but let's take a look and see. So if I go C, you see we've already done tutorial 1, and I didn't do anything other than open it up and read this. So if I come to level 2 and I say learn, it should take us to a menu to actually learn how to do the things in level 2. But it didn't. Notice it went green. I think they've made it so that you can just click through all of them and not actually have to go through the learning process, which is crazy to me. But for whatever reason, that causes it so that you can't actually get the IDOS, which is level 24, because it skips level 22, 20, and 23, and you can't do level 24 without level 22 and 23. So it seems like by trying to make it easier, it's actually made it harder, because one of the things you really need to do with size, you need to learn how all these things work. It's a really complicated mod. Each one of these are tiles that it teaches you about, that these tutorials teach you about how to use these tiles. You put these tiles into a spell programmer, and it lets you create a spell or a program that can run in the world. And as you can see, each tutorial teaches you new tiles. And some of these tiles, when you start getting into ray tracing and things, are really complex. I do think that's a bit of a disservice to the users. People that may be using Psy, especially those using it for the very first time. Can we hit this guy? Way overshot. Still overshooting. There we go. Burn to death, sucker. Now you dead. So yeah, I do think it's a huge disservice to the people that need to learn how to use Psy. But what it is good for is the people that wouldn't take the time to actually learn it and just wanted to blow through it and call it done. So yeah, what am I doing? I was trying to hit my quest key is right above my slash key, and I hit the wrong key. There were some Psy related items we need to make. So we got to make a Psy metal pickaxe. I'm a little bummed about this. I was really planning on spending today working on that tutorial. Running through it, and it was going to be hours. I mean, it takes a long time to get through all those tutorials. And I really am kind of bummed that we don't get to do that. So we're going to need a CAD assembly. So we're just going to kind of do our own tutorial. I guess it's not going to be a very good one. So we need 3 steel ingots, and they have changed these recipes. So, if you're playing a different pack, you won't see these same recipes. Yeah, I really am bummed, man. I really am bummed that I think they really borked this by trying to make it easier. The one area they make things easier is an area that should not have been made easier. All the stuff they made overly complicated were areas they really probably shouldn't have made it more complicated. The one area should have been easier is not. So, what you gonna do? So let's see if we can make this crazy thing. We need 2 microchip tier 1s. Man, they've really tied Psy in with open computers very heavily. Microchip tier 1. How many do we need? Was it 2? I can't remember. Yeah, 2. Okay, we need a piece of redstone. Got it. We need whatever this is. Control unit. Oh lord. 2 transistors. I know I saw a couple of those. Yeah, this is a flippin' crafting rabbit hole of open computers. Redstone torch. Probably don't have one. And I know I saw 4 nuggies. Okay. Lord, what a pain. A clock. Yeah, all this open computer stuff is a complete pain in the butt. do feel like it's kind of sucking the fun out of this, I gotta say. Oh, I didn't make my torch. There we go, there we go, there we go. Now we gotta go make some other stupid thing. Now this is from Immersive Engineering. So we need treated sticks and a piece of copper. Yeah, I really don't mind when they change recipes, but I do mind when they change recipes in such a way it sucks the fun out of the game. And I do feel like these uber crafting rabbit holes of open computers is kind of sucking the fun out of the game. I think it's overdone a little bit. Could tone those back and make it quite a bit better. Oh. Get those two. Oh, we haven't made... Are you kidding me? What the heck am I missing now? Good lord, this is getting on my nerves. Oh, I haven't even made this stupid thing yet. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Am I just like the least patient person on the planet today or what? But this is... I mean, this is too much. This is way too much. Just into the land of stupidity. For your basic level CAD assembler. So they've removed all the complexity from the mod itself and added all the complexity into the crafting itself, but you really needed that complexity in the mod so that you could actually learn how to use it, because anybody that hasn't gone through those tutorials is not going to have a flipping clue how to use this mod. It's one of those, it's virtually impossible to learn by yourself, just you doing things. Yeah, I really think this is done poorly in this pack. Kind of a shame, because I'm really, I'm enjoying everything else in the pack. It's just, this is really off. Not real sure why this was done the way it was. I'm sure there's some logical reason. I'm sure they had their reasons. But I'm not getting it. Oh, dang it. I'm one redstone short. Yeah, come on, pick up. Pick up. Okay. Yeah, I gotta say, if you haven't done CAD before, don't attempt it in this pack. You're just gonna end up hating it, because you're not gonna be able to figure things out like you should be able to, and that's gonna give you a bad experience and a bad taste in your mouth. And I'm never one for giving people's first experience with a really cool mod to be a bad one because of, poor things done. It doesn't even show you what's missing. Oh, I guess it does. Dang it, 2 nuggets and a redstone. Two more nuggets. Could I please just make the stupid thing now? Please. For the love of all things. My goodness, that took 1,001 years. Alright, now that you have your CAD assembler and your iron CAD assembly, you just want to put this iron CAD assembly right there. And you see you're going to get some stats, and it's going to turn into a CAD assistant device, or casting assistant device, and make some cool noises. Then when you mouse over it, or you put your hotbar on it, you notice you get a bar off to the right up there that actually shows your level of psi. This is how much magic energy you have. So I want to grab a... Whoa. hello, almost out of redstone. Okay. Obelix needs to, that's got me Silk Touch. That's got me Silk Touch. Didn't I have a fortune pick somewhere? Yeah. Alright, Obelix needs to make some redstone, so let me do that. And I will bring you back here in a minute. I've been neglecting fortuning my redstone, so put myself into a bit of a pickle where I have no redstone. Alright, so got all that harvested. Got a row in a bit. That should definitely make our lives easier. I'm going to take one stack out. Put our pick back up because I want to throw it on the ground. And you don't have to do it with one whole stack. You could just do it with one. Actually, I'll just show you with one. And we're going to use this casting assistant device, and we're just going to shoot it. And you see that it turns into the sawdust. Nice. So now we're just going to do a whole bunch of it. And you see when I did it, if you were watching over on the right-hand side, my little mana bar, we'll call it, disappeared, or dropped down just a little bit. So that means we're using our magical abilities to make this sawdust. Okay, now that we've made our sawdust, I want to show you real quick. If I hold C down now, while I'm holding the CAD assembler or the casting assistant device, I get a picture of it right here in the center of the screen, but nothing. I don't have a wheel of options. That's because we're using the most basic device there is. So I want to replace this with a better device. So I'm just going to put it back in our crafting grid and turn it back into an iron CAD assembly. So it's a decrafting recipe. Then we're going to come back in here and we're going to make a basic CAD core, which is just 4 iron and some sawdust. Now that we have our sawdust, this won't be a problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. Now we want to make a basic CAD socket, which is dust and 2 iron. So boom, boom, and a bam. Now that's all you necessarily need to move on, but I want to go ahead and add a battery. And what a battery does is give you a buffer. If that little sidebar that's off to the right gets empty while you're casting your spells, you will take damage, just like with blood magic. So we're going to have to craft a CAD battery that's going to help us not to take damage. And then you have all these colorizers, which just change the color of what's going on with the CAD. So we don't really care about those right now. So I'm going to put this guy in here, and you can just shift click all the items. They'll go back into the normal place. That's for your colorizer. And we're going to pull it out. Now notice the stats have changed. If I pull this out, you notice sockets is 0. But if I put this in, it's now sockets of 4. If I take the CAD core out, the complexity is 0. If I put it in, I get a complexity of 10. So these change the specifications of your CAD or your casting assistant device. The battery gives us the overflow of 100. If I pull that out, this is the overflow I was telling you about, that little buffer, so it helps you not die. So, loving that sound. And now we have a slightly better CAD device. So we can move on to the next steps. Alright, now that we have our better casting assistant, we want to make a spell programmer, this guy here. And you will see I've already got all the pieces for it because they're a pain in the butt to craft because we're back into Open Computers and Ender IO. And we just built all these things and they were not fun. So I went ahead and did those off camera. And now we can have our spell programmer. Nice. So we're going to bring this over here. And we're going to put him in here like so. Kind of a cool little model, I think. But this allows us to make spells. So we would right click in the space and we have all the options for how to make spells. And you got 5 pages worth of these different tiles. Now, remember, these tiles came from these tutorials. If we started with tutorial 1, we would have only had these 2 tiles. And we would have had to do something with these 2 tiles to learn how they work. Then we would have gone to tutorial 2, and we would have added 2 more tiles. And tutorial 3 would have added 2 more tiles until we got all the way through full of all of our tiles. So in the way they've kind of set it up in this particular pack, it's like you have full-blown access to everything, which if you know what you're doing is nice, but if you don't know what you're doing, this is seriously intimidating. So yeah, just be aware of that before you go getting too deep into Psi. Alright everybody, since the last clip and this clip, it has been several hours since I've been on the server. Just left old Oblix there, AFK inside the shack, and I went and had dinner and just kind of chilled out because I was getting a little bit frustrated because I couldn't approach this mod the way I wanted to. I was trying to force it to be something it wasn't. I mean, the pack devs have changed, kind of the way this mod is played with it. Why is this door open? Okay. But yeah, they've changed the way this pack is played or this mod is played in this pack. And I was just really trying to force it to be what it isn't, and it was just frustrating me. So I'm going to refocus a little bit. We're going to continue with Psi, but instead of it being more tutorial based like I had originally planned and wanted to do, it's going to be more just casual. I'm just going to play through casually, and you may not know why I'm doing all the things I'm doing, and I may not be able to explain them to you in this particular sense. But what I will do is I will eventually come back, not promising anything like right away, but it has been asked several times if I would do a Psi tutorial, like I do some of the other tutorials I do. And I've always said yes, I'll get to it, and it's just, it's kind of a complicated mod to do a tutorial on, but I will get to it. Just give me some time. But I'll make an effort to get to it a little sooner than, originally I had thought I would. I always planned on doing it. It's just I hadn't planned on doing it like really soon. And by the way, we're up to 50 million RF in our capacitor bank here. While I was eating dinner, it filled itself up because of these extra zombie generators are cranking out the RF. But so we're just going to approach it in kind of a more fun way, if you will. I probably need to get food because I've been just walking around here like a goofball. Let's see. Oh, I've eaten that recently. I gotta find something I haven't eaten. Cheesecake has no benefit. Whatever. That's fine. Lovely. So, we need to make several things to proceed in this mod. We already made the first thing, which is Psydust, which we needed just a basic casting assistant device to do. So now we're going to make Psi ingots. In order to do that, we need some gold, which I've got right here, and we're going to need a Psi bullet. And if they haven't changed the recipe, they have not. Excellent. Or a spell bullet, I should call it. And we're going to need to make a spell, our first spell. And it's the easiest spell you're ever going to make. So we're going to come to the spell programmer. We're going to open it up in this big intimidating looking thing. Don't let it scare you. It's not that scary. Right click it. And don't let this 5 pages of tiles scare you. It's really not. I'm going to search for infuse. And we've got greater infusion and infusion. We're going to start with infusion. And that's it. That's the spell. It took the name infusion. We could change it if we wanted to. We want to grab this bullet and we just want to tap. And now we got the do-doot, which means it's all well and good. So now we're going to grab our CAD assembler. We're going to put our CAD in there. Notice when I shift clicked it, it went on this side this time, and we got 4 slots. That's because we put a basic CAD socket in there, which gave us, see, sockets 4. So these are our sockets. Each one of these can hold a psi bullet or spell bullet. What do they call it? Spell bullet. And each one of the spell bullets can be a spell. So I should have pulled the gun out. Shame on me. So now the spell bullet is inside the CAD, and we see it set to infusion. So if I push C, you see now we have this 4-quadrant thing that we didn't have before. So each one of these can be a different spell. So here's our infusion spell. So we're just going to aim at that, and we see it down there in blue at the bottom center. And I'm going to toss out a gold ingot. And much like we did with the redstone to get psi dust, we're just going to zap it and we get a psi ingot. Now see, that took a lot more of my psi energy than it did when we did the redstone. If I were to throw all 63 of these out there, that would be bad news bears. So if I do 2, let's see how much energy it takes. The same. How about that? So what if I throw out all of them? The same. Notice that. So it's only taking the same amount of energy regardless of how many you do at a single time. So that's how we get the psi ingots. So now we can start crafting all the things that require psi ingots. Like if we want the tools, which by the way, the tools can hold spells. So we can make a pickaxe with a spell in it. We can make a shovel or an axe that have spells in them. We can make armor, and the armor can hold spells as well. But that's going to let us move up to the next tier of stuff, right? We can move into the larger sockets, so we can hold more and more and more. We see this guy has 6 sockets and a bandwidth of 7. This guy holds 8, 10, and 12. And I believe 12 is the biggest. And we can also get into the extended battery, so we can get into this battery. Or, well, we can't quite get to the diamonds yet. We're getting there. But we can go up to the psi metal CAD assembly. And that's probably where I'm going to head next. We can't get into ebony and ivory yet, because we got to be able to make this ebony psi metal, which is a little bit further down the road. And you'll see that the cores, see this core has a complexity of 10 and a projection of 1, 20 and 3. So complexity is how complicated your spell can be, and a projection, I don't know how to describe that well. I think it will, when we get into it, I think it will make more sense. I think that would be a better way rather than me just trying to word it out. With my words don't work real well. You guys know that. So one thing we do need to do is we need to grab a chest. Like a real chest, not, one of these. And we need to put this in here because you don't want to carry more than one CAD device at a time. And I am going to pull the bullet out. So I'm going to put this back in here. We can see the bullet. I'm going to pull the bullet out. And I'm going to pull the CAD out and toss it in the chest. That way we only have one at a time. And I'm going to start work on the psi metal CAD assembly. So each CAD lets you do more, right? Lets you do more stuff than the one before it. So let me work on this. This one's going to be, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Look at this rabbit hole of doom and destruction. Good Lord have mercy. Alright, so let me spend about 5 hours working on open computer stuff to get us up to the point where we can actually build this guy. Alright everybody, I went ahead and got all of the bits and pieces together. And now I want to go ahead and make a golden CAD assembly as well, because we have a quest for that. So let's go ahead and knock that guy out first. Even though technically we can jump straight to the psi metal. So we'll make that guy, then we'll make the psi metal. Psi metal's better, so we're going to focus on that guy. And let's go put our gold one away. I put a little chest in here. So we're going to have some psi things to store. And like I said, we're going to work on this psi metal one. We're also going to go ahead and put away our iron one because you don't want to have 2 CAD devices in your inventory at one time. And I'm going to grab some of these ingots and some of these because we're going to have to make some more stoofs. Now what we want to do is beef up this CAD assembly pretty far up. So we need to make I want to make one of these cores. Oh, we can't. We don't have the diamonds yet. We can make that one. So let's get the glowstone, and we already have the ingots. Where's my not full stack? There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just gonna put a bunch of those in there. Oh, why did I grab gold? I don't need gold. I need glowstone. Sheesh. Where my glowstone? There it is. Okay, so that guy there like a so. And how far can we go with this? Alright, glowstone and 2 ingots. Let's get some more glowstone going. Excellent. And what battery can we make? Yeah, we make that one iron and gold. Iron and gold. There we go. There we go. Nice. So we'll get a battery going. And we can't do the colorizer. I do like the fancy colors. Basically, you just need whatever color dye you want, plus some glass and a piece of iron and a side dust. And we'll just do one so you guys can see what it's like. Let's do a purple. So we need a lepi. And we should have a poppy somewhere in here. Stems together and we get a purple. And what else? 2 glass. An iron. Is that all we needed? And some dust, yeah. Okay, there's colorizer. So we're gonna hop in here, go back, drop our CAD in here, and then just shift click all the bits and pieces in. We see we got a full load. Pull it out, cool sound, and we now have a full-blown CAD gun. Now we need to make some more bullets. So that's just dust and iron. So let's just do this like so. And that'll give us 6 bullets to work with that we can load spells onto when we're ready to do so. Alright, everybody, I do think that's going to do it for this episode. It's getting very long, and we will work in the future on loading this guy up with some really cool spells that can do some pretty darn spiffy things. Be quiet, phone. Nobody's talking to you. But until next time, you guys get out there and make some noise. We'll see you.